Square 9 book. Any of you that purchase it, I think, will find it'll vastly help your ability to make profits. I think this is a tremendous elucidation of how the Square 9 works, and I think it gives you new ideas and new insights in how you can make money in the market by actually seeing the future, what the market's going to do, and giving you valid areas that are going to be support and resistance that you can trade off of. Because his method is so specific, I don't really need to use much of any other method to combine it with. I'm in there, and I've got all sorts of different astrological things that I'm throwing in there, but I'm seeing pretty much the Square 9 is really determining, you know, most of what I'm getting. One of his lines hit the exact top. I knew it was going to be the top, and then I traded down on that for a significant ways. And when it hit the next line, I got out of it, and I made $1,480. I did a trade this morning, and I made, I think it was $470. So this technique seems to work repetitively. I'm very confident that it's going to greatly add to my trading success. And anybody who buys the book, if you have to work with Khit a little bit to try to get things squared away, I think he'll help you through a little bit of that. And all of a sudden, you'll be seeing and using the Square 9 with new glasses in a new perspective that'll allow you to make quite a bit more money. And I can assure you that with all my vast experience with Gann, which has been over 30, maybe 35 years, I've never seen the Square 9 used like this. My name is Ted, and I'm from the United States. So I'm doing very well with the Square 9, and you know, I think this is one of his best books in terms of the whole thesis on how these things work. What's really brilliant is his showing how to get the right prices. So what happens, one of the price levels on the exact high the Dow made for maybe a few, I don't know, a number of days or weeks or whatever, was 34,362, right to the exact top of the top of the top of the top of the top. How impressive is that? It came right to the exact total, you know, 34,362. It came right to the exact point. Yeah, I'm really excited because I'm seeing it this whole thing work all over the place. Tested a lot of markets. I've done some yen, I've done some pound, I've done gold, I've done the Dow. I like the Dow because it's highly volatile and it moves so fast that there's almost a unbelievable good profit potential. It didn't take very long before I could see how everything worked, and I applied it. And you know, in the beginning, there was maybe a few too many lines and things like that. But with a very quick email out to Khit that I'm sure he'll do for anybody else, he cleans up if you're putting too much on or too little on. And as soon as he cleaned up how I was putting the lines on, now I can see very significant monies and profits that I can make from this whole system. I did a trade a few days ago that I made $1,480 on, and you have to trade whatever line is active, and so some lines drop off in their activity, and then you have to put all the new lines on that are active. Those were all the lines that I put on from all the past things. So every time it hit any of the prices, I was keeping all of the prices, all the lines from all the prices. So I didn't know what I was doing. And so what Khit did, he took one of the valuable lines, I think the 34038 line. This is a very, very important point. This is going to help you trading. my confusion that I had is going to help you trade better, because I went through all the variables because I was doing the best I could with it, and it added up all those lines, and it interfered with my being able to see. Now, after Khit wrote me, I was able to basically get right in at the top of the trade and then go right down to the bottom of the trade from the top to the bottom perfectly, and I made all that profit. Now, last night I was actually able to make probably about, what did I make? 487. I think I made $487 because it was hitting a price line, and I went up with it at the beginning of the night, and I had the top of the other bar, and it hit that other top of the bar, and I made a little bit more money trading the square 9. So I made another trade positive last night. But when you see with the proper glasses, as Khit says, with the proper glasses, it opens up and it gives you that different perspective, which if you don't have that perspective, you can't see anything. So with his reformatting of how you see, it opens up the market, and then you can actually see what the market's doing. I've never seen anything that shows you price levels and points that are hitting in the market equal to what the square of 9's doing. I've never seen anything like that. Most of the square of 9's just give you various price levels, and with Khit's square of 9, you're using a unique set of numbers, which gives you a totally different factoring of the numbers. And his approach in this book actually gives you a different way of handling the square of 9, and then using using how he actually draws certain lines. These lines basically they explain the entire dimensions of where the market's going, and in many cases hit tops and bottoms perfectly, so that you can actually in the future see when these tops and bottoms are going to occur, and then you can trade with all that in mind. And you can see how the market's going to unfold. It's almost like a magical square of 9, because these other people's square of 9's don't get you to where you need to go to see how the market's going to go and what's going to determine levels of the market and all that. So Khit's square of 9 is the most unique square of 9 out there, and with his different way of seeing how the square of 9 works, you have a totally unique perspective, which opens up a whole new world of reality in trading successfully. Just a few days ago, I executed a trade on the Dow with only a couple of contracts, and made $1,480 with it. And with Khit's material, I could see the exact hitting of a price that was very significant using unique lines that he uses that nobody else uses. And then from seeing how those lines were affecting the price, I then could trade the market in a way down for quite a ways. And then when it hit another significant price area, I was able to get out and make $1,480. As a trader, you have to see the upper limits and the lower limits of what a market is going to do. With Khit's unique approach to this square of 9, which is unlike any other square of 9 that anybody's ever demonstrated, it allows you to see pretty much the exact upper and lower levels of certain price limits. So you can execute trades, with confidence, knowing exactly that this is most likely going to be the actual top, and this is going to be the actual bottom. So if you want to make money in trading, this is a very, very useful tool to actually start making some hopefully very significant monies. It's going to take a few days to start to work to figure this whole thing out, but if you apply everything correctly, you should be able to trade with confidence and be able to actually see profits in your account. And it's almost spectacular. I had executed a particular price line from an upper price of where the Dow was, and from very up high, I was able to put a particular line on that's unique to Khit, and from the low, it actually hit from the low to the top of where several thousand points of the Dow were executed. It actually hit to the almost to the tick of the 50% line. Another interesting thing was the recent low of the Dow. Khit's method actually showed me how to use unique price levels, and one of those price levels actually hit at the very, very, very top of the Dow price. That came many, many, many weeks later. And so you could actually see that price hit, you'd be able to reverse, and you'd be able to make a lot of money. So there's all sorts of opportunities to trade this thing. The opportunities come up all the time, and you can see almost like a lamp going into the future, various price levels that are going to be significant. One of his lines hit the exact top. I knew it was going to be the top, and then I traded down on that for a significant ways. And when it hit the next line, I got out of it, and I made $1,480. I did a trade this morning, and I made, I think it was $470. So this technique seems to work repetitively. I'm very confident that it's going to greatly add to my trading success. And anybody who buys the book, if you have to work with Khit a little bit to try to get things squared away, I think he'll help you through a little bit of that. And all of a sudden, you'll be seeing and using the square nine with new glasses in a new perspective that'll allow you to make quite a bit more money. And I can assure you that with all my vast experience with Gann, which has been over 30, maybe 35 years, I've never seen the square nine used like this.